Hi, and thank you for taking a few minutes just to learn more about how goods will move to the EU after the end of this year. So from the 1st of January, goods moving to Northern Ireland will be governed by the Northern Ireland Protocol, and that means that there are customs processes that we will need to comply with because effectively Northern Ireland remains within the EU. So these processes are the Trader Support Service and TRACES, and you'll become more familiar with these terms, I'm sure, but this is just a means of introducing them to you. And with new processes comes new jargon. So to introduce this, we have the EORI number, the commodity code, and the commercial invoice. And again, these will become familiar terms, I'm sure. So we've been working with Whites and with certifiers to minimise the admin burden that's placed on you. And we think the best way of achieving this is for Organic Arable to act as the exporter of the goods. So we look after the administration on your behalf, which makes the changes fairly minimal. But there are some things that you're going to need to do in order to make sure that the process runs as smoothly as possible. And it's really important that we get information on the customs system, on the TRACES system effectively, so that there aren't any delays when the lorries enter the ports, paperwork and what's on the system tie up, and therefore the customs clearance can be done quickly and effectively. And so it's imperative that the haulage instruction that you're provided with to move the oats travels with the load, along with a copy of the Organic Arable certificate. So here's an example of the haulage instruction, and we've made a few changes from the normal one that we would issue. So just for reference, the haulage instruction number is shown at the top, and that will be the same as the reference on the commercial invoice to tie these two things together. You'll notice that the certification number shown is the Organic Arable license number, because Organic Arable is acting as the exporter, and therefore that number needs to tally up with the information that has been put onto the TSS and TRACES systems. We mentioned the commodity code and the EORI number, and they're shown here. And then to repeat, it's really important that a copy of this document and the Organic Arable certificate goes with the lorry. Now, our certificate will print out when you print this document. So both of those two documents will print, and then you can just hand that to the lorry driver once the lorry is loaded, and they will travel with the load. The other thing we'll ask you to do is to please text the haulage instruction reference through to us once the lorry has been loaded. And this is just so that we know that the lorry is moved, it's on its way to the port, and therefore it's starting to become within the customs process. So remember, send the haulage instruction with the load, send the Organic Arable certificate with the load, and text Organic Arable to tell them the load has been collected. And thank you very much for listening.